Ian.is weird, depending on where you're watching this from. I have some of my new body jewelry in, which I'm super excited about. So I have my spider. Can't tell from far away, but then when you get real close, it's a little spider. And then I put a black lip ring in. I have a larger septum piercing in right now. It's not a bigger gauge. I was thinking about gauging up my septum just to have like a more noticeable piece of jewelry in, but then I thought it would limit my jewelry selection in the future, so I decided not to. And then I tried out the scorpion and the spider on this side, and just the way that the jewelry shape, it kind of is like kind of offset from like the it doesn't go all the way in the piercing hole, so it just kind of like both of them just kind of looked stupid and you couldn't tell what they were. So I just put my rainbow one back in here, and then I can't get this one out to save my life. The septum was really hard to get out, so whatever. But the septum did eventually come out, but the this one I cannot get out for the life of me. So I'm just gonna keep twisting at it until something happens. I think that either the spider or the scorpion will look cool over here because it of the way that the piercing is angled. It's kind of angled back a little bit, I think. So I think that it will sit up properly on this side, whereas this side it's kind of facing down, so that kind of exacerbated that weirdness in the not weirdness, but just the shape of the jewelry. What are you gonna do? At least I mean, I still have a rainbow on this side, but I was afraid that this might look like a problematic mustache, but it turns out it doesn't. Just looks like a black dot till you get close to it, and then you see that it's a fucking rad spider, and you're like, wow, I want to know that guy. He's cool. So I have a lot of stuff on my desk right now. So I try to move some of it covertly, even though you can probably hear what's being dragged across my desk. But we're saving that for marriage. No, we are saving that for the fundraiser that I am doing in exactly 9 days. So on the 21st, which is the winter solstice, if you celebrate. But the winter solstice is the shortest daylight hours of the year. And for that, I'm doing, hey Lydia, for that, I am doing I'm gonna get up real quick while my cat's up and close this door. Just because I don't want to disturb Smelanie. But yeah, so for the shortest day of the year, the Alzheimer's Association has a fundraiser called The Longest Day, which they usually do for the summer solstice, which is the longest daylight hours of the year. And that's in June. And so, as part of their longest day fundraiser campaign, they also do the winter solstice because it's the shortest day. So it's called the longest day, but it's the shortest day. Either way, it's a great place to donate if you want to donate, or just be present for the fundraiser. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be live for 5 hours and 50 minutes, which is the amount of daylight time that we will have on the winter solstice. And I'm just gonna highlight it with crafts that I love to do with my grandma, things that are inspired by things I love to do with my grandma, and then also some things for the Alzheimer's Association in particular, and Alzheimer's like remembrance / awareness. So things in purple, because purple is the Alzheimer's and dementia color, like a royal purple. Right now I am working on an order for Packers. What are you up to today, Lydia? I don't think I noticed it till now, but Lydia, it's such a fun name to say. So congratulations on having a fun name. So, I am working on a rainbow stripe 7-inch packer, and I do like I do like having the options of the stripes packers because it allows for certain uh, combinations of colors that don't you can't find a ton of in store, and specifically the trans colors. You can't really find those in cotton, or I have not been able to. If you can, you get a cat nap, now you're waking up. Well, perfect timing. You sound like me. I'll nap and then I'll be like, oh, I'm awake, and it's the worst time to do it. Um, so I just took my meds, so I'm counting down the minutes so I can be asleep. Sleeping has been really hard the past couple of days. I have had some crazy side effects from my new medication, although I did not have any side effects that I noticed today, which was good. But the first 3 days of it, granted, the first day I was already manic before I took the meds, so that day's kind of a wash. I don't know if that's anybody's fault. Um, but Saturday and Sunday, I was in like bent over, like clutching my stomach. I think I might have to go to the hospital kind of pain. And like I don't like take like when people ask like what's your pain level, like 1 through 10. Like, I don't take that shit lightly, especially when my wife has chronic pain and like describes to me her pain levels. Like, I don't take that shit lightly. I know if she says an 8 or a 9, like she's really fucking struggling. And like, I know a lot of people with chronic pain hardly ever say that they're at a 10 because they know it can always get worse, or they're thinking that. So I was like, I am at a 9. I was like, the only way that this could get worse is if someone literally just took a scalpel and just cut my stomach open. Like, that's how much pain I'm in. I felt like I had swallowed like a rock that was like this size. And I wasn't bloated, but I was having pain all the way up my ribs and like all the way down to like my hip bones. So it was like not in my hip bones, but right above my hip bones. And like, so that whole area was just like super tender, and I could barely eat. I couldn't find a position that was comfortable. But it turns out for some people, abdominal pain is common enough that that it's on the list of side effects. I don't know if all people experience it as bad as I did, but like it literally threw me for a loop. So um, I've been medicating to just sleep a lot, and so I slept a lot. And when I was awake, I was just in excruciating pain. Um, So luckily today, I didn't have a lick of that. I will say like the only side effect that I feel a little bit is dry mouth, um, which I'm just trying to hydrate as much as possible. So this is a mineral water. It's not alcohol or anything. Not that that's a problem. I just wanted to specify what it was. Yeah, it was really bad, and my doctor was like, you know, get off the meds if they're hurting you that bad. But I had already taken my morning dose when I talked to her, and then I'm seeing her tomorrow. So I literally will have only missed one dose. So I'm like, maybe I won't quit it yet. I don't know. Um, so yeah, I am making a set of Packers. I think this is the first time someone has ordered two Packers at once from me, but I did receive this really, really sweet letter from this person who uh, I don't want to like misgender anybody, but so I'm just gonna be a little general with it. I could just read the message, but I'm too lazy to at this point. But basically, they said, "Hey, this is the second time we're buying. Hey, we've bought a packer from you before." And I believe she used the term husband. Maybe she said partner. Let's just say partner. My partner, it was their very first packer, and they love it. Um, and they had bought a 5 inch from me before, which 5 inches is kind of the average size that I make. It's predominantly the size that I make. And then uh, they wanted to buy a 3 inch packer and a 7 inch packer to have like some variety depending on how they were feeling that day. And I'm like, yeah, this is super cool. But also, like, that note was really sweet. I want to like make them a little card or something. Usually, if someone is a return customer, I will try to um, I'll try to like make them something or just like something special to show that like I really do appreciate like their returned business. But also just for, being supportive and, nice. So when people do return orders or not return orders, well, I guess return orders, when they come back, I like to give them a little treat. I do give them a discount in my store, but I think it is in the email that um, the original packer order was in. So I think that these people just forgot to use the discount code. Um, and so like I can't like I could do a partial refund. I'm not gonna do that. Um, just because like I feel like if I gave it to you once, like, but I am gonna, in like the card that I write, I mean, I am gonna be like, hey, like if you come back, like make sure you use this code so you can get some money off. Um, but yeah, so um, I'm going to do something special. In the past, I made that trans pride kitty keychain, but it's going to be tough fitting two Packers into one of my envelopes. This is not my envelope. My envelopes are teal, but they're about this size, and fitting a normal 5 inch packer usually fills the package pretty well. A 7 inch is a pretty tight fit. So fitting a 7 and a 3 in the package is going to be a little bit of a wrestling contest. I hope I win. and so I don't really think that I can make anything else, like crochet wise, that will fit in the package. So it's like maybe if I just like watercolor like a card or something, that would be um, cool. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to include in the card. other than just like, like nice sentiments, but I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna paint yet. I I have a couple thoughts. One is like, so there's a term that's often used. Uh, so all of the stuff I'm doing for my fundraiser will be done on the day of the fundraiser. But I've done some prep work. I don't want to reveal anything yet because I want it to be a surprise when I do reveal it. But there will be crochet crafts, there will be paper crafts, um, and those are the main ones I'm focusing on now. Um, but yeah. So, but if you have any people, like I said, that you want to honor, anything like that, if you have any crafts that you did with your family members that, you know, have struggled with this, have struggled with Alzheimer's or dementia, that you might want to see included, if I have time, we can definitely like try to accommodate that. So, like, just let me know um, what we can do to best honor your loved ones, and we can definitely uh, see what we can do there. Six, seven. I probably will not be sewing, um, because it kind of, to be able to sew on this table. First of all, there's a lot of things, like it takes a lot of prep work to cut and pin a pattern, and then also like this table, if I touch it at all, it shakes furiously. It's a flimsy card table, um, so uh, it's just not good for sewing. You all will get like massively motion sick if I try to do that. So I'm not gonna put y'all through that. And frankly, there's nothing in particular that I want to sew right now. Um, so it's kind of like I don't feel like I would really enjoy that. When my grandmother did sew, she did more quilting, and I've never quilt a thing in my life. I think you need to be a better sewer than I am to uh, be able to quilt. I am not a very good sewer. I get by on the very minimal skills that I have, and I just hope and pray that the pieces of clothing I make for me don't fall apart while I'm wearing them. So, uh, that's one of my big regrets, is that I didn't take advantage of learning how to sew from my grandmother when she was able to do it. She was still alive when I started to sew, but she was so advanced in her Alzheimer's that she couldn't remember a lot of the details of sewing. Like, she probably could have done it from like muscle memory because she had done it for so long. And Alzheimer's kind of affects the short term memory first before it fully gets to the long term memory, as far as I understand it. And it sounds like that's the experience for a lot of people, including her. So she probably could have like just picked up something and sewn it, but um, would she have forgotten steps? Probably. Could she teach me at that point? Absolutely not. And we had already kind of gotten rid of like a lot of her sewing stuff just because it was just taking up so much space. And um, so I didn't get to learn from my grandmother. My dad actually taught me, and my dad is a very like straightforward teacher in things, and like it's like he'll explain the mechanics of it because he has a very like mechanical mind, and like that's why he was like a mechanical engineer. Um, but he like he taught me how a sewing machine works in theory, and then had me sew like an inch and was like, okay, you're good to go. Which is a lot like how I learned how to drive stick, which was like, now you know how the clutch and the flywheel work. We're gonna drive, you know, 10 minutes around the neighborhood and you should be good to go. I wasn't. I stalled out all the time. And I'm not saying he's a bad teacher, just his teaching style and my learning style didn't always coincide. So I know the very basics of sewing, and I mean, I don't really know what I would sew, um, even if I was going to do it for the live stream. So not gonna do that. Even though my grandma did love sewing, that was her favorite craft. She was so good at it, could make anything, literally anything. And then she was such a good quilter. Um, she never made me a quilt. I don't know if she made anyone, like specifically like as a gift, a quilt. Because she was always working with scrap yarn, and I think she like didn't have a lot of confidence in like the colors that she had available, so I think she just kind of kept them to herself. I wonder if there are any of her things floating around. Maybe I'll look one of these days. Like, I know we have one quilt. We're not really like a quilt household. I know we have one quilt, but I don't know if it's handmade or machine made. But yeah, so I do want to keep the crafts a surprise. I will be doing um, how-to videos that I'm going to be releasing at the same time as the fundraiser. So you could watch them. You could be watching the fundraiser and you could go and watch them. And then you could come back and you could do the craft with me, or you could just try to learn along with me. Um, but uh, but yeah, I think that a lot of the things that I'm going to do aren't necessarily, um, I don't know. I don't know if they're, I wouldn't say any of them are particularly advanced. I'm trying to keep the craft simple so that you can craft along with me. You can make stuff that's important for your family. And we can just have a good time, because I'd rather spend my time talking and engaging with you all and trying to build up funds for the fundraiser than give, like, um, than anything else. So that's my plan. I hope it works out in my favor. Um, Now I'll have just shy of 6 hours to do all the stuff I want to do. And so a lot of things I'm starting and then I'm not going to finish them while I'm doing the fundraiser. Just because, like, I mean, it takes me so I think if we reach a certain level, I'm going to uh, giveaway. One of the things I am planning to do is making one of the awareness hats that I have for Alzheimer's awareness. So it's going to be in purple, and at a certain level, I'm about to release the levels that I'm doing, um, but uh, if if um, what was I going to say? But if we reach a certain level, I haven't decided which one yet. I will be giving away my for the month of December. I will be giving away my not my Packer pattern. Packer pattern's free. It's in the description. Um, and that's not even my Packer pattern. I will be giving away my awareness ribbon hat pattern for free. So if you were interested in that pattern and we can make it to that level of fundraising, then then just show up. So I'm going live at noon Eastern Standard Time. So check what time that is for your time zone. It's going to be on the 21st, which is a Thursday. I was thinking about moving it to the weekend, but I kind of thought that like we're already grasping at straws doing it on the winter solstice. So I didn't want to move it to be a different day because this is around the different days of the year where the days are the longest and the shortest. Um so yeah, so that's what um I will be doing. I know that's really vague, doesn't tell you a lot, but I will be dropping patterns for everything I'm doing other than the hat pattern, because like I said, that's a prize. If you are interested in the hat pattern, I'd say just wait a couple days and see if it gets unlocked, and then just be present at the fundraiser, because I'm going to say, hey, say a certain word in the chat, and then StreamYard's going to pick from the people who said that certain word. So that's what I'm going to do. And so you have to be actually present and like listening and all that stuff when we reach those fundraiser levels, so that you can so that you can uh, do it along with me. I'm going to take a quick measurement. One of the things I don't like about the striped patterns, even though, it's nice to be able to do like the, trans stripe and everything. And I do like the rainbow stripe. It is. Sorry. Is I what was I saying? I'll probably do my pattern first because it has the least value amount, and that'll probably be if we get anywhere above $20. So if you donate like literally like, and we're already at $20 because I had to put 20 in to enter it. So we're already at $20. So if we get anywhere above 20, I'll probably do the Packer. Why do I keep on saying Packer? I'll probably do the awareness ribbon hat first. I might have to work that day. I'll try not to come in after I get done at work. Well, thanks. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, so it'll be from noon to 5:50 p.m. Eastern time. I think Central Time puts you at an hour behind me, if I'm not mistaken. But I've been mistaken before once or twice. Just saying. Yeah, I know it's not ideal to do it on a Thursday, but that's just when the winter solstice is. So we're gonna do it on the winter solstice, and hope and pray that we can raise some funds for this awesome association that's doing some great research into Alzheimer's and dementia. It just affects way too many people, and way too many families. Um, you can, if you want to donate, you can always donate. But like I said, you have to be present at the fundraiser to be eligible to win. It's 11 for you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I thought we were just an hour different. Um, but yeah, getting the spacing right on these striped ones is always a challenge. Um, But the biggest challenge is honestly right now where I have two stripe ones. I have one trans stripe one that's 3 inches, and then I have this rainbow stripe one, which is 7 inches. And so getting the color spacing to be like relatively even overall is always like super tricky. Um, so I'm hoping that and especially if you compare them side by side. So I'm really hoping this turns out like I want it to. I did some measurements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And yeah, so I'm excited to do the fundraiser. Um, you can always rewatch it. If you aren't there for part of it, you won't be able to enter in the giveaways that I do in real time. But if there are any, like, let's say, because I'm going to keep the fundraiser open past the 21st, I'll probably keep it open until the end of the month. So if like you want to donate later on, or if someone else donates later on, and we do pass a certain threshold, I'll still keep. I'll still do a raffle, and I'll probably do it like a typical giveaway where like if you comment just anything um, on a video, then you're entered in the raffle. So that might be a way to do it, even if you can't make the whole thing. Um, so, okay, and now I'm going to trade colors. My other box is over here. Oh wait, shit, is my green and the other? Uh, yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, yep. So here's my green. Is this is this it? Okay, those are double. That is a weird little bundle of joy to have burst, but okay. So I'm gonna give this one a little snippy snip. These scissors are dull as I was about to say something and I regret. But I didn't. Here's a piercing, a jewelry bar thing. Don't want to lose that. But my phone coming work schedule. See, Yeah, I appreciate that, Lydia. I'm only going to be streaming. So right now I'm streaming on both my Ian is a Weirdo and Ian is Weird page. But for the fundraiser, I'm only going to be on uh, one page. I'm only going to be on the Ian as a Weirdo page, which is my main channel, um, because I am going to be using StreamYard, which is the only way I can pick comments out without having to like pay for it. And StreamYard only allows you to stream one place at a time. So, that is what it is. So I'm going to weave in my ends as I introduce this new color. And we're going to do about 2 inches of each color going forward. Really, that's kind of what what I was going for the whole time. It's going to be a little less than 2. So I got some compression gloves, but I'm trying to like ease into them because like if I like they kind of immediately make my hand hurt, but I'm trying to get used to them so that hopefully they will stop my hand from hurting. So I got a set of these. I can't wear them on both hands because they mess up my tension with this hand, especially because I'm using cotton, and cotton is not the most soft, silky um, fiber out there. So it gets kind of caught up on the polyester or whatever is this is made out of, and just messes up my tension, makes my stitches really wonky. So, but this is supposed to help alleviate some wrist pain, which I do experience, and I want to train up to using these all the time so that I can use them. You'll be able to be there. Okay, yay! I'm so glad. Um, so, yeah, I want to train up to be able to use these so I can use them throughout my entire charity stream. But right now, I'm kind of maxed out at like 20 minutes. Um, but I just want to kind of get through my charity stream without having a lot of wrist pain. Um, and I mean, that would be preferable. And cotton is always a little harder for me to use. Not necessarily just cotton, but but when I need to keep my tension pretty tight, and then also when I'm working in like it's a pretty tiny circle. So yeah, I mean, I just bought like the cheapest ones I could find. I didn't get like the copper infused ones because I'm not convinced that actually does anything. I have a friend who swears by the copper gloves, but I don't get it. So, um, but yeah, I mean, that's cool. Different strokes, different folks. Love it. But yeah, I just, it, I almost feel like, so like, I got these for my wrists, but I feel like they barely cover my wrist. And I have pretty small hands. This is what size they like come out as, which you would expect them to stretch quite a bit, right? Because they're compression gloves, and obviously they need to like expand so they can contract and be compression gloves. But but yeah, so like if you have like a lot larger hands or just have you just have bigger hands, just like look at the sizing. Um, it might be less effective on me because I have such small hands and because I didn't go. These only came in one size, this pair. So like maybe I'm not getting enough compression. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm gonna stuff the scrotum. Look how much polyfill I've gone through just on Packers in the last 2 months. I am impressed with myself. So they are also a little harder to stuff the Packers with. I don't think we'll be stuffing anything on on the day. I got them from Amazon. I just typed in compression gloves. These were the cheapest because I wasn't sure they were going to work, so I didn't want to spend a lot of money on them. I don't know if that's a good strategy or a bad strategy, but I just got what was cheapest because I'm cheap. So I don't know if you saw my haul on my other channel. I just posted it today. So I got some new body jewelry. I got a shirt that feels terrible but looks amazing. And and the shirt I got from Temu, and then I got a Centro machine from Temu. And I was like, I'm looking over. I have my 48 pin stashed over there. It doesn't work, mind you, but it's over there because I can't bear to like throw it out because I'm convinced somehow I'm gonna fix it, even though I've tried time and time again. And so I picked up the. I wanted to make sure it was an actual Centro because when I got my old one, the box did not say Centro brand. It was another brand. But when I opened up the box, and I was like, wait, what the fuck is this? I've ordered a Centro. And then I opened the box, and the machine said Centro. So I was a little like, what? But I was like, okay, it says Centro. Cool. So this one, not only did the machine say Centro, but but the box said Centro. So I was like, oh cool. Wait, did I get a fake when I got my other one? Which might explain some of the problems I'm having. But anyways, But I was like, this looks smaller. And it turns out it was a 40 pin, which does not make adult size hats the normal way, the easy way, which is what I got it for. Oh, I'm so annoyed. But I'm like thinking of ways that I can do hats, and I'm torn between doing two long panels on the 40 pin or doing two tubes on the the Addy um the Addy Express. And I'm thinking I'm just gonna do two tubes because tubes are so much easier and it's just a lot less work and you don't have to worry about like as many stitches. Also, like you have your stitch counter that actually works when you use a tube rather than when you do a panel and your stitch counter doesn't work anymore because you're going back and forth and back and forth. So so I think I'm just gonna do the tubes. I want to try a Fair Isle pattern, which I'm a little bit nervous about because I'm not very skilled at using a knitting machine. But I want to try it, so I might just do it. I'm thinking of doing like I'm just like I started like the simplest one started like the simplest Fair Isle, which is like the hearts. Because those are just like the V's of a knit stitch. And I want to do, because I have to split it in half, I want to do like half rainbow Fair Isle and then half like black heart uh, Fair Isle. But we'll see. Starting to get a little sleepy, which makes sense. It's about 50 minutes. It's about the time going out of town. I'm going to Hobby Lobby. Cool. Cool. Got birthday money. Very nice. Very nice. How was your birthday? Was it good? I know I got to be on part of your birthday stream. Oh, sorry I couldn't come up the other day. I was literally like, what was I sweaty from? I think I was like, I had like done some like pool cleaning, and so I was like drenched in sweat. I was covered in like disgusting, scummy pool water, and I like literally just like I took off all my clothes and I was like, oh, Lydia's live. And so I turned on your live, and then you kept on being like, come up, put some clothes on, come up. And I was like, no, I'm not putting any clothing on my body until I am clean because I am so nasty right now. It was a mess. You would not have wanted me up there. And I was so exhausted because cleaning a pool is a lot of hard work, and I literally only cleaned like a third of it. And it was just like brushing like the scum and like the debris and dead mouse that I found and floating in the water, getting all of that moved around so that the pool cleaner that skims the bottom will have an easier time do cleaning it. But like pool maintenance sucks. I don't, I like the idea of pools because I like swimming a lot, but I do not like the idea of ever owning one. Although that's pretty hilarious for me to even think about because I am poor living in my parents' basement. But my parents have a pool, so I'm trying to keep my end of the bargain and like try to keep shit out of the pool. But it's so hard when it's windy and it's winter time because like all the leaves are dead before they even go in the water. So like they decay faster, and when things decay, then you get like a lot of like biological debris in the water, which like zaps all of the work that your chlorine did. And you just find like the most disgusting things in the skimmers. It's not a fun experience. But I do love swimming in pools when they're nice. It was a good birthday. That's so awesome. I'm so glad you had a great birthday. You deserve it. Okay, so I'm gonna keep on going. So my dad does have a cover for the pool, but it's not like something you just put over it. It's like a automatic one, but it's been broken for the better part of like 15 years, and he, because he's like Mr. Fix It, has refused to let anyone fix it. So he's tried to fix it himself, can't figure it out. Well, he's figured it out, but now he doesn't know how to fix it. And it would be like so expensive to get it fixed. So he's like, we're not going to cover it. And that's that. So we don't cover our pool, even though we fucking should, because that would be a huge time saver. And, you know, they want to sell this house like soonish. Like, that would be a selling point. Pool that actually covers. But no, we have to manually get all this shit out along with the pool cleaner and the skimmer baskets, which I just know that like I found snakes in the skimmer basket before. I found frogs, like a fuck ton of frogs. I found all kinds of dead shit in there. I hate cleaning those things out. It's nasty. It's fucking nasty. So, and I want to make sure that if I have to do that and there is something in there, that it is no longer alive. Because I will not do well if I encounter any living thing that came out of that pool. And we live like right next to the woods, and there's a creek in the middle of like the wooded area. So like in the summertime we get copperheads, which are extremely poisonous. And like during the summer we found a couple copperheads, either in the pool or like around our door to like take our dog out. So it's fucking terrifying letting him out, knowing that there's like poisonous snakes out, which luckily they're not out now due to the weather, but that doesn't mean they're not in the skimmer baskets. I'm just saying, I'm not cool with that. I like, as like not chill as I am as a person, if you want to see me really not chill, Put a fucking snake in a basket and have me grab it. I'm just saying. My dad doesn't even think twice. He just like grabs it and he's like, yeah. I'm not the one. I'm not the one, bitch. Like, and the last time my mom uses like a little tool, which I use as well. And like, but even then, you're still not that far away from the basket. You're only like 3 feet away from the basket. And like, she saw, I'm afraid of them. Yeah, I'm afraid of them too. Um, and like, she saw something move in the skimmer basket as she like started to pick it up, and so she dropped it and was like, "Fuck this!" And my mom is tough as nails, but she doesn't fuck around with that shit either. And turns out it was just a giant bullfrog, like this big bullfrog in our skimmer basket, alive. And so she made my dad come get it because I wasn't getting it. If it scares my mom, it sure as hell scares me. Okay, so I'm just about to finish the green, I believe. I just want to measure it before I go so that I can make sure I'm at a good place to stop. Now, I know that I know that Lily, sugar and cream, and the other one in cream, cookies and cream, I don't know, whatever. Um, I know that there are many colors, but I still think there are so many more colors that um, they can offer. One, I've complained, I will be inside the house. Yeah, exactly. That's me as fuck. Um, but uh, um, so like one, I think they need more skin tone colors. I did manage to find quite a few skin tone colors in uh, the Hobie 88 cotton, either the Friends or the Rainbow. I think I got the Rainbow ones. Yeah, I got the Friends one. But either way, I honestly don't know the difference. I don't know if one's mercerized and one's not. I don't fucking know. But lilies, like, it's just like their color selection is so strange to me because they had like two skin tones before, three, three skin tones before. Two of them were like very white, and then they had a warm brown. And then, like, luckily I've expanded and figured out that problem. But now the next thing is like if I wanted to do a rainbow, it just like the colors of the rainbow like just don't really fit together as nicely as I would want. Like for me, like this green tone is like weird with like the rest of the rainbow, and then the yellow is like butter yellow, like it's like baby yellow. And I'm like, no, give me like a punched up sunshine. Like, don't people make sunflowers and shit? Like, why aren't you making like a more pigmented yellow? I don't understand. But like, and like the green is like kind of teal. Like it's like just give me some like true. But then like they have an orange which is called hot orange, which is like literally neon. And then they have a hot green, which is literally neon. Wouldn't fit in this. But I just like, I'm kind of like, I don't know, like, I just feel like I can't really understand their color choices, and that's a little annoying to me. So let's measure this sucker out. We're looking for about 2 inches, and we are at 1.5. Okay, so we're not even close. Okay. So I'm going to finish this stitch, and then I'm going to call it a night. Just hit an hour, and I'm going to go get some rest, and I hope you get some rest as well. Um, my I feel like it doesn't like do anything for my wrist, and it just hurts my hand. Does that make sense? I don't know. I've got to get used to these gloves and see if I like them or not. If I end up not liking them and you want them, Lydia, I'll if you want to just pay me shipping, I'll send them to you, but give me some time to figure out if I like them or not. But I love you very much, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.